cheese. Here we go. All right, why are we here today? We're here today to show you some really cool things that are on your S22i, your X22i, your X32i, whatever treadmill or incline trainer or studio cycle or bike, whatever it is that you have in your home, whatever NordicTrack machine you have in your home. It could be Pro Form as well. But if it supports iFIT, then it most likely will have these hidden features built in. I said I'd find 10 of them, so let's get right to it. Before I start, I would like to ask you all to hit the like button, subscribe if you like the content and you'd like to be notified of future videos. But definitely hit the like button and then hit the bell so you'll be notified. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. So once again, if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and mash it now. The first thing that I should point out is something that you all probably know, especially if you're a member of my Facebook group, which is called NordicTrack Tips, Tricks, and Hacks. You'll know that there's a privileged mode, there's an administrative mode on your machine. How do you access it? This is really simple. Most of you already know if you've been following my videos, if you're subscribed. What is privilege mode? Privilege mode allows you to access the administrative desktop that the iFIT software resides on. How do you get to it? It's something called the 10-tap technique. So right now I will demonstrate the 10-tap technique so that we can access the secret privilege mode. The 10-tap technique, or T-cubed, it's just a matter of tapping anywhere on the screen where there's a blank space so that you don't activate anything, so that you don't start a workout program. You just tap 10 times and then you wait 7 to 8 seconds and then you tap 10 times again, and then you'll see a little message come down there saying privilege mode set to true. So let's go ahead and do that. First things first. Privilege mode, here we come. 10 tap technique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and oh wow! Oh, I got a little worried there for a second. Normally it comes right up. It said privilege mode to true. All right, what does that mean? It means that we can either swipe down or swipe up, and we will have access to several icons that will provide us with access to the privilege mode. If you swipe up, you see triangle, circle, and square. Try it again. Triangle, circle, and square. If you swipe down, it's the same thing. See? And if you swipe down, you actually have access to this notification bar, which I'm not sure if you knew. On my 2018 model X22i, I can hit the cast. I can make sure that my wireless connection is strong. I can check my Bluetooth, several other things. But the main thing that I want to do here is access privilege mode. How do we do that? By hitting one of these. The circle gets us to the Android desktop. The triangle will go back to where you were at, and the square will show you all of the applications that are currently running. So let's go ahead and hit the circle. And here we are. This is called the Android desktop. From here, how do you access all of the apps that are on this Android desktop? You click on that circle with the little 6 dots in it. And here we are. This is the first thing that you may not have known was on your NordicTrack machine. It is a desktop with a whole bunch of different applications. When you do this, if you're doing it for the first time, you'll only notice a few of these icons, and I'll point those out to you. If you're accessing this desktop for the first time, you will have a browser, you'll have a camera, you will have a clock, you'll have the downloads folder, you'll have a gallery, you'll have iFIT, you'll have iFIT admin, and you'll have settings. Now I have quite a few more, and if you'd like to know more about these other applications, then you can check out my other videos. I have videos on mostly everything here. All right, so that's the first thing. So to summarize, the very first thing that you may not have known was on your NordicTrack treadmill or bike is the admin mode. How do you get to the admin mode? By doing the 10-tap technique and then swiping up or swiping down. All right, what's the next thing? What's the second thing that you may not have known was on your machine? Did you realize that there's a camera built into your display? If you click on camera, you don't get to see my ugly mug, but you get to see your own mug. Cheese. Here we go. There's a picture, There's even an editor built into your NordicTrack machine. So you can put filters like a punch filter, a vintage, black and white. There's several things here. Whether or not you want to do this, that's up to you. You can put a frame, you can chop it, you can clip it if you'd like. There's several different things you can do here. It's a very, very simple editor. It's a very simple interface. Whether or not you use that, that's up to you. But you'll be able to take a picture of yourself if you'd like. That's the second thing that's on your NordicTrack studio cycle, or your incline trainer, or your rower, or your elliptical that you may not have been aware was on your machine. All right, what's the third thing, Dr. NT, that's on your machine that you may not have been aware of? The third thing that you have on your machine that you may not have been aware of, I was gonna save it to the very end, but you know what? I'm going to show it to you right now. This even shocked me. From privilege mode, you go into settings, and from settings, you wanna go into developer options. How do you get to developer options? Well, if you check up there, you'll see that I'll provide you with information on how to get to developer options. I'm not counting that as something you didn't know that was on your machine, even though I could, but I'm not. Once you access developer options, you go into developer options, this is gonna blow you away. You're not gonna believe it. You scroll all the way up to the top, and in there you have something called Open Buried App. It's normally set to this, I can't even pronounce that, Malata Engineer Mode. You click it, it brings up this Open Buried App, and if you were to cancel, nothing happens. But if you click that and go to Tango C, it brings up this menu, which in all honesty, I don't even want to touch anything. So this menu, I'm not actually counting this as something you didn't know was on your machine. But this again is something that I didn't even know was on my machine. And I'm not going to touch any of this. If you'd like to, feel free. But now you realize why NordicTrack and iFIT probably will say you're going to void your warranty should you do things like this. Because I have no idea what EEPROM offset is, or bootloader mode, or raster mode with offset. I might one day actually look all these up and do a video on this. But the main reason I brought this up was not to look at this, but was to swipe up, go back, and then now, if you look at it, it says it's Tango C. So if you hit it again, now you have the option of changing it back to Malata Engineer Mode. And when you do that, this is what I wanted to show you. This is the third thing you didn't realize was on your NordicTrack machine. This is awesome. It looks like it's some sort of engineering pad or interface where you can actually do different things. You can do a touchpad test, where when you touch things, you can see if your display is working correctly. Let's go ahead and pass that. You can check your Ethernet if you'd like, which nothing is connected to an Ethernet, but I believe probably inside there may be an Ethernet connection or an Ethernet port, but I wouldn't know, so I'm just going to just say pass. You have a Wi-Fi test. When you hit the Wi-Fi test, I guess it looks to see if there's any Wi-Fi signals around. I'm not really sure, but it looks, yep, that's what it does. It looks at all the Wi-Fi signals and it brings them up here. Let's go ahead and pass that. It says here, when you try passing it, it says it can't. So let's go ahead and fail it just to get out of here. And this has no bearing. Once you get out, it just resets everything. But the main thing I wanted to come here for, and it's not the Bluetooth test, even though it brings up all the Bluetooth capable machines all around you. That might help you if you're trying to cast. Maybe that might allow you to see whether or not your smart device is seen by your NordicTrack machine. There's a backlight test. I'm not sure what this Chinese symbol is. Oh, and then you can go back and forth. Let's go ahead and pass that. There's a whole slew of tests here, but the one test that I wanted to show you, which for some reason I could never get to pass, it always says it fails, is that. It's called the audio video test. They even spelled video wrong. Watch what happens when I click on this. This is the third thing that you didn't realize was on your machine. Get ready. You're not going to believe this. It's an actual movie trailer. Can you believe this? Let me lower it a little bit. If any of you know what trailer this is, please comment below. But it looks like this Julia Roberts is in this trailer, and she's some sort of secret agent. And I don't want to watch it too much because I don't want to have any copyright infringement. So I'll go ahead and hit stop here and let me pause. So I'm just going to fast forward this. Maybe it says here. Oh, anyway, it's a trailer for a movie that was coming out in March of 2009. Is that awesome? Problem is, to get out of here, when you hit pass, it says something about checking volume, and I have no idea how to check volume, so I just fail it. All right, so that's the third thing you didn't realize was on your machine. You actually have a Julia Roberts movie trailer. If you know what movie that is, comment down below, because I'd be curious. It looks like a good movie, even though it's from 2009. I wouldn't mind watching it. All right, now for the fourth thing that you didn't realize was on your machine. First thing, we'll swipe up and get out of this. And let's get out of developer mode. Okay, on to the fourth thing that you didn't realize was on your NordicTrack Studio Cycle, your treadmill, your incline trainer, your rower, your elliptical. In order to show you that, I'm going to go to Settings, About Tablet, and you see where it says Android version. If you have 5.1.1, and this applies to those of you that have older machines or those of you that have a studio cycle, because all of the bikes, all of the studio cycles, I believe are running on an Android 5.1.1. If you tap that repeatedly, watch what happens. Whoa, what is that? It looks like bubble gum. If you click that, it actually shows you the version of Android. Android version 5 is called Lollipop. If you have an Android version 7, then this will probably come up with an N, I believe it's Nougat. And if I'm wrong, please comment down below. Now, I'm not really sure what happens if you have Android 7, but if you have a bike or you have an older machine and you have Lollipop, if you click it, it changes colors. This is something that for the longest time I didn't realize was on here. And it's similar to any Android device that you may have at home, whether it's a cell phone, a tablet. You can do this on that as well. And you'll get something different depending on what version of Android you have. But another thing that comes up with this Lollipop is if you hold it, it actually brings up an Android Flappy Bird game. And this is the fourth thing that you didn't realize was on your machine. So let's go ahead and play this really quick. The interface is a little clunky, and I'm not sure what would happen if you did this on a different Android version, but let's just see if I can. I'm terrible. I'm usually good at these games, but because this interface is not really the best, it's very hard to get maybe even one or two. Oh, shoot, almost. I'll try it one more time. It's called the Android Flappy Bird game, and it's the fourth thing that you didn't realize was on your machine. It's almost as if I don't really have the interface down pat. Oh, yes. All right, I got through one at least. All right, let's see if you can beat one. There it is. There's my record, 1. So to get out of this, just hit that. And when you're here at the Lollipop screen, you just hit the back again, the triangle, to go back. Okay. So to get out of this, you just swipe up, hit the triangle to go back, and then hit the triangle once again to go back. If for some reason it takes you to the Lollipop, that's fine too. You just keep hitting this triangle until you get back to this screen. And if you want to go back to iFIT, you can just hit the square. It'll show you everything that's running in the background. Oh wow, look at that. Actually, it showed you several things that's running in the background. The camera, this engineering mode, settings. Let's see if iFIT will start back up again. Usually when you get out of iFIT to go into privilege mode, if you don't go back right away, it'll do this. It just kind of restarts. It'll tell you iFIT stopped, or it may restart it for you. It's a minor inconvenience. You just wait, and then iFIT comes back up. If you were actually using the treadmill will still keep going. So that's not a problem. Alrighty then. What's the fifth thing that you didn't realize? So what is the fifth thing that you didn't realize was on your machine?